Your father failed you not because he didn't love you. In fact, he failed you because he loved you too much. He looked at his son, and he wanted to protect you. He wanted to shield you from the harshness of the world, from the brutality of human nature, from the cold, sharp edges of reality. So, he taught you how to be a good man. He told you to be honest. He told you to play fair. He told you that if you keep your head down, work hard, and treat people with kindness, the world would eventually reward you. He painted a picture of a moral universe where justice always wins and where the good guys finish first. He sent a sheep into a forest of wolves, armed with nothing but good intentions. And look where that got you. Overlooked, used, disrespected, exhausted. You are watching this because you have realized a terrifying truth. The rules you were raised with do not apply to the game you are playing. You are playing chess, but you were taught to play checkers. You are trying to be good in a world that only respects power. This stops today. We are going to overwrite the software your father installed. We are going to replace the comforting lies of a protector with the ruthless strategies of a conqueror. We are going to look at the advice Niccolo Machiavelli would have given his own son if he wanted him to survive in the snake pit of reality. This is not about morality. Morality is a luxury for those who are already safe. This is about utility. This is about what works. If you are easily offended, leave. If you want to cling to the fantasy that the world is fair, click away. But if you are ready to inherit the forbidden wisdom that builds empires and crushes opposition, then listen. The first lesson is the hardest. You must forgive your father for being weak so you can become strong. Lesson 1. The myth of merit. Your father told you, work hard and you will be recognized. Machiavelli says, the world judges by the result, not the sweat. There is a disease in the modern mind called the labor illusion. It is the belief that the amount of pain you endure correlates to the amount of pain you endure correlates to the amount of success you deserve. You see this in the office, in relationships, in the gym. Men destroying their bodies and minds, burning the candle at both ends, waiting for the applause that never comes. They think the world is keeping a scorecard of their struggle. It isn't. The universe is indifferent to your exhaustion. It does not care how many hours you put in. It does not care how many hours you put in. It does not care how noble your intentions were. It cares about one thing, outcome. A bridge built by a saint that collapses is a failure. A bridge built by a tyrant that stands for 1,000 years is a success. History does not remember the men who tried their best. It remembers the men who did. Your father taught you to value the effort, to take pride in the grind itself. This made you a perfect employee, a perfect cog, a perfect slave. Because as long as you value the effort, you don't demand the reward. You settle for the dignity of labor while someone else takes the profit. Machiavelli understood that effectiveness is the only metric that matters. If you can achieve the same result with 10% of the effort through strategy, leverage, and cunning, you are not lazy. You are superior. The man who works 80 hours to achieve what another man achieves in 4 hours is not a hero. He is a fool. He is inefficient. Stop wearing your burnout like a badge of honor. Nobody cares. Shift your focus from how hard am I working to how effective am I being. If you are digging a hole with a spoon and another man is using an excavator, your father would praise your persistence. Machiavelli would mock your stupidity. Do not seek to be the hardest worker in the room. Seek to be the one who delivers the outcome that no one else can delivering. The world pays for value, not for sweat. If you want to be rich, if you want to be powerful, you must divorce yourself from the idea that you are paid for your time. You are paid for the magnitude of the problems you solve. Your father taught you to be a mule. I am teaching you to be the rider. Lesson 2, the utility of controlled cruelty. Your father told you, always be kind, turn the other cheek. Machiavelli says, if an injury has to be done to a man, it should be so severe that his vengeance need not be feared. This is the advice that makes people uncomfortable. It makes you squirm because it sounds evil, but let's look at the mechanics of it. Your father taught you that conflict is a misunderstanding, that if someone hurts you, you should show them mercy and they will see your nobility and change their ways. He taught you that forgiveness is a weapon. In the real world, forgiveness is often interpreted as permission. When you allow someone to disrespect you, when you allow a competitor to take a piece of your territory, when you allow a toxic friend to cross a boundary and you respond with kindness, you are not teaching them a lesson. You are teaching them that you are soft. You are teaching them that there is no cost to crossing you. Machiavelli is not telling you to be a psychopath. He is not telling you to hurt people for fun. He is speaking about the physics of consequences. If you must strike, you do not strike halfway. You do not wound your enemy. A wounded enemy is dangerous. A wounded enemy has a grudge. A wounded enemy has time to recover, to plot, to gather allies, and to come back at you with 10 times the fury. Think of the Hydra in mythology. If you cut off one head without cauterizing the stump, 2 more grow back. Half measures in conflict are suicide. If you are going to enforce a boundary, enforce it absolutely. If you are going to cut a person out of your life, you do not take a break. You block them. You delete the number. You erase their existence from your world. You leave no door ajar. You leave no hope for return. You crush the possibility of their re-entry. This applies to business, to relationships, to your own habits. If you are firing an employee who is poisoning the team, you do not give them a month to find a new job. You remove them immediately. You cut the access. You protect the tribe. Your father's advice creates lingering problems. It creates frenemies. It creates recurring drama. It creates a life where you are constantly swatting at the same flies because you refuse to kill them. Machiavelli's advice creates peace. Yes, peace. Peace is not created by tolerating chaos. Peace is created by the absolute elimination of threats. When people know that crossing you results in immediate, disproportionate, and final consequences, they do not cross you. You become a nuclear power. You don't have to fire the missile. The fact that you have it and that everyone knows you are willing to use it ensures that no one attacks you. Kindness without the capacity for cruelty is not kindness. It is submission. You can only be truly kind when you have the power to destroy and you choose not to. Until then, you are just harmless, and harmless men are not respected, they are eaten. Lesson 3. The weaponization of reputation. Your father told you just be yourself. People will like you for who you are. Machiavelli says everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. This is perhaps the most damaging lie of the modern age. Authenticity. We are obsessed with it. We are told to be vulnerable, to show our flaws, to keep it real. Your father told you that your reputation is a byproduct of your character. That if you are good inside, people will see it outside. He was wrong. Reputation is an artifact. It is constructed. Human beings are cognitive misers. They do not have the time, energy, or intelligence to analyze the depths of your soul. They judge you by the signals you broadcast. They judge you by the signals you broadcast. They judge the book by the cover, the man by the suit, the leader by his posture. If you walk around being yourself, slouching because you're tired, complaining because you're annoyed, dressing poorly because you want comfort, you are sabotaging your power. You are letting the world define you by your lowest moments. Machiavelli understood that a prince is an actor on a stage. You must curate your avatar. This does not mean you lie about your skills. It means you edit your presentation. You highlight the traits that command respect, and you hide the traits that invite pity. When you are afraid, you project calm. When you are ignorant, you project silence, which looks like wisdom. When you are chaotic, you project order. Your father told you that lying is wrong. Machiavelli teaches that the appearance of virtue is often more important than the virtue itself. Think of the most successful people you know. Do you know them, or do you know the idea of them? You know the myth. You know the brand. You know the story they have decided to tell you. If you want to advance in this world, you must treat your reputation like a delicate piece of art. You paint it, you light it, you guard it. If you have a bad day, you do not post about it. You do not weep to your colleagues. You process it in the dark, and you step into the light as a mountain that cannot be moved. Being yourself is for children and pets. Being effective is for men. Construct a persona that embodies the qualities you want to possess. Wear it until it becomes a second skin. Eventually, the mask becomes the face. You become the strong, disciplined, powerful man you are pretending to be. The world is a theater. Stop sitting in the audience watching others perform. Get on the stage, write your script, and play the role of the king so well that the audience has no choice but to believe it. Lesson 4. The calculus of gratitude versus necessity. Your father told you, help others and they will help you. Rely on the goodness of people. Machiavelli says, men are ungrateful, fickle, pretenders. While you benefit them, they are yours entirely. But when need approaches, they revolt. This hurts to hear. It's cynical. It's dark. It's true. Your father taught you the karma model of relationships. You put coins of kindness into the machine, and eventually the machine gives you a prize. You lend money to a friend. You stay late to help a co-worker. You sacrifice for a partner, believing that when you are in need, they will return the favor, and when they don't, you are crushed. You feel betrayed. You ask after everything I did for them. Machiavelli grabs you by the shoulders and shakes you. Stop relying on gratitude. Gratitude is a burden. People hate owing debts. When you do too much for someone, you do not make them love you. You make them resent you. You become a reminder of their own dependence, a reminder of their own weakness. If you want loyalty, do not rely on their love. Rely on their need. Make yourself the keystone. The keystone is the stone in the arch that holds everything else up. If you remove it, the structure collapses. Do not try to be the person everyone likes. Be the person everyone needs. In your job, acquire a skill that no one else has. Own the relationship with the client that no one else can manage. Understand the software that baffles everyone else. When you are necessary, you are safe. When you are merely liked, you are disposable. In relationships, be the source of stability, the source of direction, the source of resources that cannot be easily replaced. Your father told you to give freely. Machiavelli tells you to give strategically. Never give everything. Always hold something back. Always keep a reserve of knowledge, of power, of access. The moment you give a man everything he wants, he has no further use for you. And human beings discard what is useless. It is a harsh truth. But look at your own life. Who do you treat with the most respect? The nice guy who does whatever you ask, or the man whose approval you have to earn? The man whose time is scarce, the man who you need more than he needs you. You respect the latter. Stop buying friendship with favors. Start renting respect with necessity. Lesson 5. The Lion and the Fox. Your father told you be honest, be straight, let your yes be yes and your no. Machiavelli says you must be a fox to discover the snares and a lion to terrify the wolves. Your father raised you to be one thing, a straight shooter, a predictable man. Predictability is death. If you are always the lion, aggressive, loud, forceful, you will eventually step into a trap you didn't see. You will be outsmarted by someone smaller, quieter, and more cunning. If you are always the fox, sneaky, political, avoiding conflict, you will eventually be cornered by a wolf who simply overpowers you physically or hierarchically. You must be both. You need the capacity for overwhelming force, the lion, and the capacity for subtle maneuvering, the fox. Your father told you that playing politics is dirty, that you should just keep your head down and work. This is why you are stuck in middle management while idiots get promoted over you. Politics is not dirty. Politics is the art of human dynamics. It is the art of the fox. It is knowing who holds the real power, knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, knowing how to make your boss look good, knowing how to plant an idea so that someone else thinks it was theirs. If you refuse to play the game, you don't take the high moral ground. You just lose by default. You must learn to switch modes instantly. When you are negotiating a contract, be the fox, read the fine print, look for the loophole, Sense the hesitation in their voice. When you are defending your family or your reputation, be the lion. Roar. Show teeth. Use the full weight of your presence to end the threat. The man who is only a lion is a brute. The man who is only a fox is a coward. The man who is only a fox is a coward. The man who is both is a king. Your father feared deception. He thought it was a sin. Machiavelli teaches that deception is a tool. Camouflage is not lying to the predator. It is a survival mechanism. Do not show all your cards. Do not tell everyone your plans. Do not announce your next move. Be the fox. Let them think you are going left, so they defend the left. Then be the lion and strike right with full force. Lesson 6. The fallacy of the neutral world. Your father told you the world is what you make of it. If you are good, the world is good. Machiavelli says a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good. This is the pill that gets stuck in your throat. Your father raised you for a world that does not exist. He raised you for a utopia. He taught you to operate as if everyone else is playing by the same moral rule book as you. They are not. You are walking through a marketplace where half the people are selling snake oil and the other half are pickpockets, and you are walking through it with your wallet open, smiling at everyone because your father told you that strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. No, strangers are potential threats until proven otherwise. This is not paranoia. This is reconnaissance. Machiavelli advises that you must assume people are driven by self-interest, not because everyone is evil, but because everyone is human. If you assume your business partner will never screw you because you guys are buddies, you are negligent. You are begging to be betrayed. The Machiavellian son signs contracts. He reads the terms. He protects his downside, not because he is cynical, but because he respects the reality of human nature. If you assume your spouse will never leave you just because you said vows 10 years ago, you are complacent. You stop trying. You let yourself go, and then you are shocked when they find someone who is hungry, sharp, and alive. The Machiavellian son understands that every relationship is a daily negotiation. He knows he must continue to provide value, continue to be strong, continue to be a catch. He does not rest on the goodness of the past. Your father's advice made you lazy in your judgment. It made you blind to red flags. Oh, he's just having a bad day. No, he showed you he is unstable. Believe him. Oh, she didn't mean to lie. No, she showed you he has integrity. Believe her. Oh, she didn't mean to lie. No, she showed you she lacks integrity. Believe her. Stop painting over the cracks in reality with the brush of your father's optimism. Look at the cracks. Study them, because that is where the building will break. Lesson 7. The economy of fear versus love. Your father told you, I want you to be loved. I want you to be popular. Machiavelli says it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Let's clarify this immediately. Fear in the Machiavellian sense is not terror. You are not walking around screaming at people like a maniac. Fear means respect. It means fear of consequences. It means fear of consequences. It means fear of disappointing you. It means fear of losing you. Love is volatile. Love is an emotion. People fall in and out of love based on the weather, their hormones, or their mood. Love is given by them, which means they can take it back whenever they want. Respect, fear, is earned by you. It is anchored in your competence and your backbone. If your employees love you but don't fear you, they will slack off. They will come in late. They will make excuses. Why? Because boss is a nice guy. He understands. You are not running a charity. You are running a mission. If your children love you but don't fear you, they will become unruly. They will not have discipline. They will not have structure. They will fail in life because they never learned that actions have consequences. A father who is only a buddy raises a child who is a brat. A leader who is only a friend leads a team that is destined for failure. You want the kind of respect where people check their work twice before bringing it to you. not because you yell, but because your standard is so high they are afraid to miss it. You want the kind of respect where your partner treats you with dignity, not just because they love you, but because they know you have enough self-respect to walk away if they don't. That is fear. That is the fear of loss. That is the fear of falling short of the standard. Your father wanted you to be hugged. Machiavelli wants you to be obeyed. You can build an empire on obedience and respect. You can only build a commune on love, and communes always collapse. Lesson 8. The seduction of fortune. Your father told you better safe than sorry. Take the steady job. Don't gamble with your future. Machiavelli says, fortune is a woman, and if you wish to keep her under it, is necessary to beat and elude her. And it is seen that she allows herself to be mastered by the adventurous, rather than by those who go to work more coldly. Let's strip away the archaic language. Machiavelli is telling you that luck favors the aggressive. Your father raised you to worship safety. He taught you to view risk as a mistake. He wanted you to have a pension, a 30-year mortgage, and a predictable routine. He wanted you to be a ship in the harbor. But ships are not built for harbors. Ships that stay in the harbor rot. The wood decays. The barnacles grow. They sink without ever facing a storm. Safety is a slow death. When you avoid risk, you avoid vitality. You avoid the very friction that sharpens a man. Look at the safe men around you. Look at the safe men around you. Look at their eyes. The light is gone. They have traded their potential for a sense of security that is an illusion anyway. One recession, one AI update, and their safe job is gone. Machiavelli understood that fortune luck is a wild force. It cannot be pleaded with. It cannot be negotiated with. It must be seized. The outlier knows that he must routinely expose himself to chaos to find opportunity. If you never approach the girl because you are safe, you die alone. If you never start the business because you are safe, you die poor. If you never speak the controversial truth because you are safe, you die forgotten. Your father taught you to build a fortress and hide inside it. Machiavelli teaches you to build an army and march out of the gates. You must develop a stomach for volatility. You must learn to look at a risky situation not with fear, but with appetite. What can I conquer here? Stop calculating what you might lose. Start calculating what you will never gain if you stay still. The man who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. Lesson 9. Money is not wealth. It is ammunition. Your father told you save your money for a rainy day. Money buys comfort. Machiavelli says a prince should have no other object but war and its organization and discipline. Your father taught you that money is for consumption. You work, you get paid. You buy a couch, you buy a car, you go on vacation. You use money to make your prison cell more comfortable. This is the mindset of a peasant. Machiavelli teaches that resources offer sovereignty. Money is not for buying things. Money is for buying freedom and power. In the Machiavellian view, your bank account is your war chest. It is your standing army. If you have 6 months of expenses saved, your boss cannot abuse you. You have, money. That is power. If you have capital to invest, you can shape the world around you. That is power. If you can hire lawyers, accountants, and fixers, you are insulated from the common problems that destroy common men. That is power. Your father told you to be frugal so you could retire at 65. I am telling you to be ruthless with your finances so you can be dangerous now. Stop looking at the price tag of a luxury car to impress people you hate. Look at the price tag of your own autonomy. Every dollar you waste on status is a soldier you have sent to die for no reason. Keep your soldiers, amass them. When you have enough of them, you don't need to look rich. You are powerful. The goal is not to look like a king. The goal is to have the power of a king. One is vanity, the other is reality. Your father confused the two. He thought a nice house meant he made it, but the bank owned the house and the job owned him. He was a serf with a mortgage. Be the lord of your own life. Use money to build the walls of your fortress, not to decorate the interior. Lesson 10. The art of being misunderstood. Your father told you what will the neighbors think. Don't make a scene. Fit in. Machiavelli says greatness and misery are the two words that describe the burden of the prince. Here is the darkest truth your father protected you from. To do anything great, you must be willing to be the villain in someone else's story. Your father was terrified of social rejection. He wanted to be a pillar of the community. He wanted the nod of approval at the grocery store. But you cannot change the world and remain liked by everyone in it. If you succeed, your jealous friends will call you arrogant. If you have standards, lazy employees will call you a tyrant. If you speak the truth, liars will call you dangerous. If you prioritize your mission over their drama, family members will call you cold. Good. Let them. Machiavelli knew that a leader who is obsessed with being understood is paralyzed. He spends all his time explaining himself. He spends all his energy trying to manage the emotions of the mob. You must develop an immunity to the opinions of sheep. When someone calls you selfish for pursuing your goals, do not apologize, do not explain. Realize that selfish is just the word they use to manipulate you into serving their selfishness. When someone calls you obsessed, realize that is the word the mediocre use to describe the dedicated. Your father taught you that conflict is a sign you are doing something wrong. I am telling you that conflict is often a sign you are doing something right. You are disrupting the status quo. You are holding a mirror up to their inadequacy. Of course they hate you. They have to hate you to protect their own egos. Wear their misunderstanding like armor. If you have no enemies, you have no character. If you have no one criticizing you, it is because you are doing nothing worthy of note except the villain arc. It is the only path to the hero's result. Lesson 11. Strategic silence. Your father told you, communicate, talk it out. If you have a problem, say it. Machiavelli says, the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him and how much he speaks. We touched on reputation, but this is about operations. Your father taught you that silence is awkward, that you should fill the void, that if you explain your feelings, people will understand. In negotiation, in seduction, and in war, silence is the ultimate weapon. When you talk, you reveal. You reveal your insecurities, your plans, your intelligence or lack of it, and your position. Information flows out of you. When you are silent, you absorb. Information flows into you. People are terrified of silence. It makes them feel judged. It makes them feel unstable. So they start talking. They start bidding against themselves. They start revealing their secrets just to break the tension. Your father told you to speak your truth. Machiavelli would tell you to shut up and listen to their lies. When you are angry, say nothing. Anger makes you sloppy. When you are excited, say nothing. Excitement makes you vulnerable. When you are uncertain, say nothing. Silence likes confidence to the ignorant. Create a vacuum. Let others rush to fill it. Let them exhaust themselves trying to figure you out. The man who cannot control his tongue cannot control his life. Next time you are in a high-stakes conversation, try this. When they finish speaking, wait 4 seconds before you answer. Look them in the eye. Count to 4. Watch them squirm. Watch them start to doubt what they just said. Watch the power dynamic shift across the table into your hands. Your father taught you to participate. I am teaching you to dominate, and domination is often silent. Lesson 12. The necessity of distance. Your father told you family is everything. Friends are forever. Machiavelli says, men will sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. This is the coldest lesson of all. Your father taught you unconditional loyalty. He taught you that shared DNA or shared history creates a bond that cannot be broken. Machiavelli teaches that proximity breeds contempt and familiarity breeds weakness. You cannot lead people you are equal to. You cannot command respect from people who saw you drunk at 18. You cannot grow if you are tethered to people who refuse to evolve. Sometimes you must fire your friends. Sometimes you must divorce your family energetically, if not legally. If you are climbing a mountain and your rope is tied to a man who has decided to jump off the cliff, you have 2 choices. 1. Go down with him out of loyalty. 2. Cut the rope. Your father would tell you to hold on until your hands bleed and you both fall. He calls that love. Machiavelli calls it suicide. You must curate your circle with ruthless precision. Surround yourself with people who are playing the game at your level or higher, people who understand the language of power, strategy, and growth. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. But your father told you to stay in that room because those are your people. They are not your people. They are your past. Do not let your history hostage your future. Lesson 13. Killing the father. Your father told you, listen to me, I know best. Machiavelli implies the new prince must establish his own laws. This is the meta lesson. The lesson that encompasses all others. To truly become the man you are meant to be, you must metaphorically kill your father. I do not mean violence. I mean you must destroy the idol of him in your mind. You must stop seeking his approval. You must stop living by his outdated code. You must stop waiting for him to tell you that you did a good job. As long as you are seeking the validation of your father or the father figures in society, bosses, politicians, gurus, you are a child. A man does not seek validation. He seeks conquest. Your father gave you a map. It was a good map for 1990. It was a good map for a world that was slower, kinder, and more predictable. But you are in the wilderness now. That map will get you killed. Burn the map. This is the most painful part of the process. It feels like betrayal. It feels like you are spitting on his grave or his legacy. But realize this. Your father wanted you to survive. If he knew what the world was really like today, if he truly understood the Machiavellian nature of modern power dynamics, he wouldn't want you to be a sheep. He would want you to be a wolf. He just didn't know how to teach you. He didn't have the words. He didn't have the heart for it. So you must do it for him. You must succeed where he settled. You must be ruthless where he was polite. You must be rich where he was frugal. You must be powerful where he was passive. That is how you honor him, not by mimicking his limitations, but by transcending them. You have now heard the 13 lessons your father was too afraid to teach you. 1. Results greater than effort. 2. Controlled cruelty. 3. Constructed reputation. 4. Necessity greater than gratitude. 5. Lion and fox. 6. The world is not neutral. 7. Fear greater than love. 8. Risk greater than safety. 9. Money equals power. 10. Be the villain. 11. Strategic silence. 12. Ruthless curation. 13. Kill the ideal. This is not a checklist. This is a resurrection. You came into this video as the good son, the one who follows the rules, the one who waits his turn, the one who is tired of losing. You leave this video as something else, something darker, something heavier. You are realizing that the guilt you felt for wanting power was a lie implanted to keep you weak. You are realizing that the ness you performed was just cowardice wearing a tuxedo. The world is about to look very different to you. When you go to work tomorrow, you won't see colleagues. You will see players on a chessboard. When you listen to the news, you won't hear facts. You will hear moves in a game of perception. When you look in the mirror, you won't see a victim. You will see an architect. This is not easy. It is lonely at the top, but it is crowded at the bottom. And at the bottom, the air is stale and the view is terrible. Your father loved you, but love is not enough. You need strategy. He gave you roots. Machiavelli gives you wings and claws. You need both. But here is the lingering question, the thought that will haunt you tonight when you turn off the screen. Now that you know the game is rigged, now that you know the game is rigged, now that you know being good is a trap, do you actually have the stomach to play the real game? Because it's easy to listen to a video about being Machiavellian. It's easy to nod your head and feel powerful for 30 minutes. It is much harder to look someone in the eye and say no. It is much harder to fire a friend. It is much harder to sit in the silence and let people judge you. Most men will watch this, feel a spark of ambition, and then go back to being sheep tomorrow morning because it is comfortable, because the pasture is safe. Are you most men, or are you the outlier? The advice has been given. The burden is now yours. What will you do with it? If this opened your eyes, understand this is only what I can show publicly. There are videos I cannot upload for everyone. There are aspects of dark psychology that I simply cannot discuss publicly on YouTube without being censored or demonetized. The algorithm suppresses the most powerful information. Those exist behind the join button. If you're still here, you're not like the others. Subscribe if you haven't. But if you want what's hidden, click the join button and step into the architect level. You will unlock exclusive, uncensored videos that dive into the deepest parts of the human psyche. Most won't. That's the point.